Hello, everyone. This is FK from the FC Barcelona International Culés podcast. It's the episode number 5 of our podcast. It's been more than a week now since we last met you guys, and last time we met it was after the El Clasico. Not a very nice experience it was, but we were hopeful that things will change. And yeah, since then, uh, we have other kinds of problems now, and I sorry to say, but it's not much hopeful after the last time we guys met you. So Nick, would you mind getting us started about where we are at the moment?
Not in a good place. Bit of a up and down season so far, but weekend was good. We were hopeful. A relatively easy Champions League game. Again, a poor defensive performance, like it's been for the last couple of months. Just bad defensive, poor mistakes, individual errors, not pressing well, not tracking back, too high, too low. I mean, yeah, we can dissect every position. To be honest,
Hmm.
every not just on the pitch, even off the pitch, a lot of injuries. But yeah, tactically we have been found out a little bit. I think Flick has to work on it. But yeah, one win, one draw, not very good.
Yeah, let's take it from the beginning. So the game before the Champions League one was against Elche. It was at home, and
Yep,
the result was 3-1 in that game. So let's start from there. So even in that game, after the El Clasico, before that game in the press conference, Flick said, "I'm excited about the upcoming games because the previous two training sessions have been the best of the season so far. Players have been really training with intensity. They're really showing up." So I had some hope. Okay, this El Clasico might lit a fire under the players. We might see them actually doing well. One thing going into that game I was worried about after the Clasico was Lamine Jamal storm, how he will react, where he is physically. Is he fit enough to even start? I was hoping that maybe he gets some rest after the Clasico, maybe, so he can sort out his injury issues. But he started that game, and Barcelona in the opening 15-20 minutes of that game looked really good. They were sharp. LJ gifted us 2 goals, to be honest. Bad defensive errors from them, slip ups, and then but we did well to capitalize on them. We pressed well, so you have to do that as well. So first 15-20 minutes were great. First half, okay, but then Elche, they came back into the game, and then again, it's a similar story. The intensity drops down, the pressing is not there. Again, our defenders spent more time running back than actually defending.
yeah,
Uh, and then the second half, okay, it wasn't very good. In the end, Rashford killed the game. Beautiful goal from him again, beautiful finish from him. He's really putting up the
great pass as well.
numbers. Great pass as well from Fermin Lopez, I guess it was. Yes, it was Fermin Lopez. So in the end, 3-1, okay, good result. 3 points. We are still 5 points behind Real Madrid. And it's really important, guys, to keep that perspective. Even if you're not playing well right now, we have to keep getting the results. Doesn't matter how you're playing until your players
Yeah,
come back or we sort out our issues. If you want to have even a sniff of La Liga this season, we can't afford to drop any more points. We have to stay within this distance with Real Madrid. So eventually, when they slip up, we are at least there to capitalize on it. And we have
and
another
they will. I
Clasico.
mean, they've
Yeah,
not been risk free. They're not playing risk free, to be honest. They are taking risks. They are making mistakes as well. It's not
exactly.
being punished right now. It will eventually. It's a long season.
Yeah, that's another thing. After the Clasico, I was on these different panels where they actually reviewed the game. I had this sense of that all these pundits and all these YouTubers who eventually were hyping Real Madrid up, like, oh, what a great performance by Real Madrid. Why they are like looking very good this season. They are this, there. I watched the Clasico 90 minutes, same as you guys all did. I didn't see anything special from Real Madrid. I mean, the goals that they scored, the first one, anyone can score that. They're scoring dozens of goals like this against Barcelona in La Liga
Yep.
every match day now. It's
Even
simple
last year
goal.
when we beat them so much,
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
And second goal, it shouldn't have stood. We have already talked about that. I don't want to rage bait myself into thinking about that. But essentially, that game ended 2-1. Real Madrid played better on the day, better than an injured Barcelona side with main players injured, and the players that were there were just coming back from injury. We were physically shot. But since then, the only thing I thought was the worst thing that happened was Pedri's injury. That's been the big breaking news since then. So when he got a red card, we were quite happy, essentially here that okay, finally he gets 10 days of rest. He deserves it. He can go on vacation in Ibiza or someplace, uh, and relax his mind, relax his body, and then he can come back again. He really deserves that rest. But then again, at Barcelona, nothing is as simple. Those 10 days turned into 2 months, and it just demoralizes you as a fan of this club sometimes because some days you're like, okay, we're lost, we're down, and then something comes up, and it's even more demoralizing. So we realize it's not the rock bottom that we just hit. There is
Yeah.
even further that we have to go down.
In fact, you start looking at like the bright side, even in the downside, where he now doesn't have to go and play for Spain. So again, that's a good thing. He'll not be injured even more. Where I mean, apparently in Spain, national team they sort of play you half injured as well. So thankfully, he's not going to get called up for that.
Yeah, but that can be a blessing in disguise. But I'm also
Yeah.
when Pedri gets injured, I get scared a bit because Pedri is a kind of player that does well when he's in rhythm, when
Yeah, true.
he goes into this flow state of games where he keeps on putting up these consistent performances, and when there is like a stop in that, when there's a gap between, there is always a chance that he had relapsed in the past as well with same tiny injuries take so 1 week,
Yeah.
2 week, 3 weeks off of him, and then it becomes
Mhm.
stop start season. So I'm really hoping we don't rush him back when Pedri comes back and he's introduced slowly. He's not like thrown in there, okay, just go ahead and play 90 minutes like we did with Jamal. To be honest, we should ease him
Yeah.
into it, into the flow of things, get him back to his rhythm. But that's further down the line. So Elche went away 3-1. Yeah, it was okay performance. Then came, let's talk about the weekend then. Over the weekend, Club Brugge, a
Yeah.
good
I
side
mean,
in the Champions League. It's not an easy side. People were like writing them off. I've seen the comment section and people were predicting, oh, Barcelona were going to win 3-0 or like 4-1. I was like, guys, come on. This side is good. Club Brugge, they have good players. They're not world beaters, but at home in Belgium, they are a good side. They've been in the Champions League, in
yeah,
and around the
but
Champions League for the last 4 or 5 years. But still, the when I saw the squad, the lineup, what were your thoughts on the lineup that Hansi Flick played on the day?
it's a pick of the draw these days. I mean, we barely have players left.
Mm,
Uh, it's almost the same lineup. Like you could pick and choose Lewandowski or Ferran. I actually thought Lewandowski might start because it's he could have played 60 minutes.
mm,
Uh, and then Ferran could have come in, or again, it's pick of the draw. We hardly have players available. Pedri was not there. There was obviously no Christensen again. He trained, but then again injured. Kunde had to start again because Eric couldn't play right back. So it's more or less the same team. Uh, again, I thought there would be more rotations. Maybe Rashford will be benched for draw. Uh, yeah, it really didn't happen. It was pretty much the same side. But again, the good point is Lamine against Elche, he was good, scored a goal. Against Bruges, again, really good. Looked in rhythm, was dribbling pretty good. Had a good understanding with Fermin, who now I think is clearly ahead of Olmo. Even if Olmo comes back to a sort of high level, I think Fermin is a nailed on starter. Which again begs the question, why do we spend 60 million on him? Especially when we do not have free money to spend basically. But yeah, let's hope all of them are back fit and then we can have a problem of a plenty, to be honest.
Yeah, the lineup as you said was the pick of the lot. Whatever we have, we played, of course. But the lineup that we did play, I think it was more than good enough to win that game. I think we had good, great players there. I think Frankie de Jong, Casado, and the back line, which was a bit surprising, Kobarsi. I think it's a well-deserved break for him because he's been playing consistently. Eric Garcia as well. It's not a big drop-off, to be honest. I think Eric Garcia has been our best
Yeah,
defender of the lot. I'll come back to Kunde as well. But then when you said Lamine Jamal, I think saying that it was a very good performance is an understatement. That game from
for sure.
Lamine Jamal was, if not more, at the same level that he played against Inter last season. Every dribble that he made, every time he touched the wall, he made things happen. It was magical to watch. It was beautiful to watch going forward. And the goal that he scored, wow, that
Beautiful.
is that is such a difficult thing. And it reminded me of that Neymar's goal against Croatia in the World Cup in Qatar in the extra time.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
almost a similar kind of goal. There are like banks of two banks of four, and he just
Yeah.
wriggles his way through, and then what a finish! What a
And he
finish as well.
doesn't look like he's trying to do something special or doesn't look like he's trying to take people on. It just
Mm.
comes from within, almost like he doesn't have to think about it, which is the best part.
Is God-given talent. I think it's something special to watch, and that was, I think he answered a lot of critics because even he like shut me up in a way. I was worried about his physical fitness and where his head's at. Of course, I think we can attribute it to that his girlfriend leaving him. I think that can also play a role. We've been joking about that. Of course, it's his private life. We shouldn't go into that. But we've seen with these great players, their private lives do matter, and they do have effect on their actual professional life as well. Messi, I have this conversation with my brother sometimes. So we are, of course, big Messi fans as well, Barcelona fans, and then we do talk. There were many factors into making Lionel Messi. One of them is very important, is how he was raised. And the people around him, his family, they kept him grounded. One of the big reasons. Naturally, second thing, naturally, he was a shy guy. He was like,
Yeah,
okay, he was an introvert kind of guy. Almost sometimes you look at him, he looks autistic, to be honest. He just keeps staring
yeah,
down. It
yeah.
doesn't want anything to do with anyone. And then third thing, which is really important, is the woman in his life. She kept him grounded as well. And
Yeah,
she like
and
he mentions it after the World Cup as well about Antonella. Whenever he talks about her, he talks about her like she brings calm in my life. Like she's my other half in the actual sense because she provides me with that calmness. Because outside I'm Lionel Messi for the world, but at home I'm just a normal husband and a father. I think that mix is
and it
very
also
important.
looks and also sort of if your partner is less in the news, it is good for you because people are just talking about you on the pitch and not what you're doing off the pitch, which sort of helps. You don't have to make statements. You don't have to uh, go into hiding. You don't have to do anything. Like you can just be normal, which every person requires. Even if it's Messi, even if it's a player basically who everyone knows, you need to have some calm. You need to have some quiet space. You don't have to go into hiding. Like I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, basically chill out. I mean, which now hopefully Lamine will.
Hopefully, that's his personal life. We don't want to go that into much, but yes, I think that does like light a fire in him as well. I hope he looked motivated, he looked fit, he looked sharp. I think that's the Lamine Jamal we want to see, and hopefully he stays injury free and he can just keep on going, I guess. And now the international break's coming up. I hope De La Fuente doesn't screw this up, but hoping from him is something. I don't want to hope anything from him.
I think
That guy's a
I
bit
think Lamine
crazy.
will start at least one game and play
I think he's
as
starting
long as
both of
possible.
them, and he's at
Yeah.
least playing 16 both games. And that guy's crazy. But yes, that was a positive from the game. I think one thing about this game, Club Brugge, it really tested my patience because we are in the group chats and you really saw me like losing it all, losing my head after no
Yeah.
one else was there, but I was commenting and I was going crazy. The reason I was going crazy is you score 3, 4 goals a game. Scoring goals is not a problem for Barcelona. Let's make this very clear. Even this
Yeah.
season, when we're struggling, when we are struggling, we're not talking about the attack or we can't score enough goals, we can't create enough chances. It's not that. Only against Real Madrid, I felt that way, but I would attribute that to Ferran Torres just coming back from injury and Lamine Yamal not being fit as well. And then we don't have much options off the bench as well. So I can
Yeah.
understand that. That's a separate thing. Apart from that, there has been no La Liga game this season where we haven't created enough chances to win the game. And we are scoring more than 2 goals consistently. So now you are an attacker FC Barcelona. You're Lamine Jamal, you're Marcus Rashford, you are Ferran Torres or Fermin Lopez or whoever is starting in that position. You're contributing, you're scoring 3, 4 goals every game. And then you look behind your shoulder, you look back, and then you see your team conceding every time the ball goes back. Every time there is a punt over the top of the back line, and then you are 1-0 down. It demoralizes you. Oh, we scored a goal. Oh, they scored it back. We can't even keep a lead for 2 minutes, for God's sake. And the thing about this that really pisses me off is it's not the other team has to like make this brilliant tactical plan and tactically find Barcelona out. They have to improvise and break us down. It's simple ball over the top or on the wings, and then they just cross it across the goal, and it's a simple tap in the end. How many times have we seen us concede the same goal over and over and over and over again? And the thing that really messes with my head is what Hansi Flick said after the game. After the game, in the post-match press conference, when asked about the system, because all the journalists asked him about the system, and he became a bit frustrated as well. He was like, I'm not going to change the way I play. We have to stick to our DNA. And I'm not the kind of coach who's going to play in a low block and win 1-0. We're always going to go forward. They scored 3 goals, but every time they scored, we responded back. So that's a positive thing. Now, what really messes my head over there is why does he think that changing this high line means that we have to play a low block? That doesn't make sense to me. You don't have to play a low block, Hansi. You only have to understand that last season was also not good defensively. The reason we didn't win the treble is because in Europe we were conceding 3, 4, 5 goals, 6 goals every single game over 2 legs. We were conceding goals. This is why we weren't champions of Europe last season. It wasn't about scoring down the other end. Now I understand we score as many goals as we did last season because of the high line, because of the press that we had. This season we don't have that press, and you know that we don't have that press. The players are not pressing, and he keeps talking about the same thing. Oh, the system works when we press. If you don't press, when you don't play with intensity, you of course the highland gets exposed. Now my question is,
Yeah.
as a midfielder, as a player, when you're when you see that ball in the midfield of the opposition has the ball in their midfield, our high line is right up to the halfway point on the pitch, and as soon as the midfielder picks up his head, he sees this open, vast space, and he doesn't have to think about it. He just has to play a ball over the top. And at that point, our high line, instead of running back, because you're already been
They
found out, there
push
is
up.
no pressure. They push up even more. I don't understand this. Defending is an art. Defending means a player is running at you and you prevent him from scoring a goal, or you are have your. But our defending looks like it's a 100-meter sprint race in Olympics every time. It's a simple ball over the top, on the wing, and across. It's the same goal that we're conceding over and over again. And the balls that the opposition are playing to find us out, We can play those balls. We're not professional athletes. Nowhere near that. We're not even playing professional in any sport, to be honest, not even a semi-professional level. My grandma can give that ball. It's such, and one thing, another thing that really, if you are an opposition playing in Barcelona, I think it almost pisses you off. Like it's almost disrespectful to you that we are also professionals. We're playing it at a pro level. They think we are so naive, we're stupid that we can't find this out. We can't play a simple ball over the top. They're almost like they're almost like raising a finger across their face. Okay, come, score a goal. And it's almost disrespectful to the other side as well. If I'm in the opposition in Barcelona, I'm getting angry. Like, what do you think that we are? We are professionals as well. Of course, we're not FC Barcelona players, but we are still playing at a professional level. And it's almost nobody's asking Hansi that you have to drop the high line. It's almost like, please have a hybrid. If you see there is no pressure on the ball in the midfield, drop the line a few yards. Give yourself a second chance. Give yourself a safety net to recover the ball. Sorry, I'm blabbing on. What are your opinion? I'm just letting myself
But
off.
I think the mid block press has to come back a little bit that we had with Xavi. I mean, you can't just play one way. Like I don't know how do you change this because you're playing basically with two midfielders and four attackers. Maybe slightly tweak Rashford's position or Fermin's position during the press. But again, I mean, I saw that PSG Bayern game a little bit where Bayern was pressing right up to the goalkeeper. The difference was everyone was pressing the same intensity, going in with a plan where you want to push them outside into the sort of the what do we say, the byline, the touch line, trying to push them there so they have less passing options. Again, the same thing if we are pressing in the middle of the pitch. Obviously, they have two ways that they can pass. A midfielder can pass to the right wing or the left. Then a midfielder has to decide: do I press like towards one wing or to the other side? Why not just sort of ask our players, ask Fermi to drop a little bit, help out in that press? Because even if you win the balls, uh, like in your defensive half, it's okay. We can then recover, build up, and then attack again because chance creation is not a problem. So maybe there has to be something that gives because
It's
ultimately, if you're conceding three and scoring four, it's not a good thing. You need to
uh,
keep clean sheets sometimes. Sometimes you have to win 1-0. It's okay. It's fine to win 1-0.
it's almost like a Russian roulette that you're playing because you can't make a
Yeah.
mistake with this system. There is no way you can make a mistake. And when there is no safety net at the top level in European football, other teams will kill you, and they've been killing us this entire season. Now, the one problem I have is I think people are talking online as well. Okay, we have to stay true to our DNA. Last season we were scoring goals. Last year when we were winning, you were not speaking out about Highline then, but this year you were speaking. Of course, we were speaking about Highline last season as well. Last season, the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
difference was we were pressing well. Okay, so the Highline made a bit more sense. This season, when the pressing is not working as well, of course it's gonna get exposed. And even last season, Frankie De Jong, after the game against Brugge, came out and he said a really good thing that we have to stop thinking about last season. Even last season, we were not the best team in Europe. We talk about last season like we won the treble, like we won everything last season. We didn't. We were not the
And we
best team in
nearly
Europe.
did, but
Nearly.
but the thing is, you have to have some sort of a plan. You can't just you're basically showing your hand even well before, like a week before the match. Every team is going to play the same way. If you don't try to change something,
Mm.
eh, every team is going to play the same way and you're going to be found out. I mean, Valde cannot have a season like last where he was so high up the pitch, then he came back to defend as well. Rafinha was so high up, but also was helping in the defense.
Exactly.
That will not happen for 50 matches or 60 matches a season. It can happen in the big games sometimes where you have five at the back with Rafinha or one of the midfield dropping. But again, you have to change something. You can't just play the same way and expect different results.
Exactly. This is what I was also having this argument on X. Stupid me. You should never have arguments on that application. But still,
Yeah.
my argument was even you see Pep Guardiola. He was the one who always spoke about being true to your DNA. We are Barcelona, we play this way, and this is what how we play football.
Mm.
In the last 10, 15 years, as many years as you can see that Pep Guardiola is managing football teams, in no two consecutive seasons has he played the same system. He always tweaks
That's true.
something depending on the players he has and depending upon the opposition. Sometimes we accuse him of overthinking games. In the big games, we accuse him of overthinking. This is why he has lost some finals as well. The final that comes to mind is Manchester City against Chelsea, the Champions League final, where he didn't play Fernandinho. There was no defensive midfielder in that game. So it cost them that game in a way. But no two seasons has the same. The principles are the same, of course. Keeping the ball, positional play, rotating the ball around, being patient in the build-up, but then giving players freedom in the final third to execute whatever they want. Before they didn't have Haaland, now they have Haaland, so the approach is a bit different in the final third. But the
They
build-up
still
approach
defend.
changes. They all
They
come back,
still
they
have,
press. Yeah,
yeah. Even Haaland comes back trying to hold the ball up sometimes because not every team plays the same way. You can go back to 2017 when he played 3-2-3-2, where he had Jesus and Aguero. So he sort of had two wingers, two fullbacks who came into midfield,
yeah.
but he tried something. Then that season he didn't win the Champions League. He moved into a bit more of a 4-3-3 with really wide wingers, then changed to a 4-2-3-1 with De Bruyne basically being in a free role. Then he moved to a 3-2-4-1 where they won the Champions League finally. But that was because Haaland was very good up front in a singular role. We have been playing 4-2-3-1 for the last 18 months. We have been pressing the same way, attacking the same way, defending the same way. This was bound to happen. You have to change something now. It can't just be we play this way. Every team knows you're going to play this way. You can't just sit and expect different results, in my opinion. So you have to change something. Maybe play Frankie slightly deeper in defense. Try and have a bit more build up, bit more sort of that last man, somebody who makes the decisions on the pitch, like Pep used to have with Fernandinho or with Busquets even before that, or Xavi before that. You have to change something. It can't keep going on like this.
I think other things that we see is the midfielders that we have when they're all fit is Frankie de Jong, Pedri Gonzalez in the double pivot. When you think about Pedri and Frankie de Jong, what are their strengths? He's playing the ball when the ball is at their feet. Does pressing come to mind when you think about Pedri and Frankie? No, it doesn't come to your mind. Pedri, of course, he's one of the best pressing midfielders. His recoveries are immaculate. He's an
But
all-round
it's
midfielder.
more, but it's less to do with athletics and more to do with thinking. But thinking can only get you so far if you are the only one pressing two players. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how do you change that?
Also, I think with the pressing as well this season, last season, what I saw was really good from Barcelona was when they move up the field, they were always in one compact box when they all moved up consistently and then all moved back as well. This season it's not like that. So the attack is not tracking back, and then the midfielders gets left alone in the middle, and the back line is always running a 100-meter sprint race with their attackers. It's all disjointed. There is no patterns in pressing as well. So if you really want to make a change, Hansi, we're not asking you to, okay, drop your system completely. We have to rethink everything. We're just saying when you see then there is no pressure on the ball in the midfield, ask the high line to drop back 5, 10 yards. Give yourself that bit of a safety net to at
Yeah,
least make a recovery, at least have everyone back in shape when the other team is going on a counter attack. The second goal that we conceded, there was just Balde at the back. What are we doing? What are we thinking? It's absolutely schoolboy stuff. It's not professional football that is absolutely disgusting to be honest. It was disgraceful to be honest. It really I think my patience is really wearing out now. It's not about that I want, okay, well, Hansi Flick has to go. No, no, no. It's not about that. But I think this stubbornness that he has, I think we're not asking you to change your system. We're not asking you to change your principles. We're just asking, please be a bit flexible in your approach of the high line. Keep the high line when you have the ball, when you're pressing, when you're running. As soon as the mid defense is okay, there is no pressure on the ball in the midfield, we drop back. We drop back and give ourselves a chance to recover, and then we play with the ball. It's not happening this season, but his excuse is okay, you can judge me when all our players are back and fit. But
Yep.
even
So
that, I don't think is going to happen. Someone's
season
bound
would
to
be
get
over by
injured.
then. Season would
Exactly.
be over by then. We'll not
That's
have everyone fit.
one thing is for sure. If we don't make a change now, either it can be two ways. Either Hansi Flick changes his system or the players start pressing well suddenly. If these two things don't happen, we're not winning anything this season. That's for sure.
Even in training, I mean, if he says they are doing well, why aren't they able to replicate it on the pitch? What is the point of doing it in training? I mean, surely Flick knows that there are issues. There are things he's working on off the pitch. But if it's not happening, sometimes even the players have to take a bit of a beating for it. But again, ultimately, maybe we can play in a way where we have three midfielders. We drop one of the centre backs. Frankie plays there. He sort of with the ball, he steps in. Kunde goes into the centre back.
Uh,
I mean, we could try something, but
I
again,
think I think
something has to change.
it's not about who plays where. These defenders that we're talking about, Eric Garcia, Araujo, Kubarsi, Kunde, but these are not bad defenders. They are more than good enough to play at this level. We won the La Liga under Xavi with these defenders. They were good defenders,
Yeah,
but they're not defending. That's my point. They're running back. How can they defend when they're running back? They're always all over the place. And Kunde has been shit this season. Sorry to use that word, but he has been absolutely garbage this season. He is not in his A game, but how can I like single out him? Because everyone else is struggling as well defensively. And there
on the
comes
left
a
side,
point.
Balde.
Yeah, Balde is always up on the wing. He would have given him his left wing. Rashford goes inside, and it's always Balde up front. You expect him to play a fullback role with a high line. You're basically from this is why he gets injured at important points in the season. You
It
can't
has to
ask a
run
player.
so much.
Yeah, he's running the most out of this Barcelona squad, in my opinion. He's always up and down the wing. It makes me feel that he's not being used how he should be used as well. But I think we have given our prediction. I think something has to change. Either it's the system or the players start performing well. But I think it has more to do with Hansi Flick. Either he will stay stubborn and then we win nothing this season, or he actually makes a change and then we make a comeback of comebacks because the players we have are good enough to play at this level. They are they have done it last season. It was not a fluke. And a season is not a fluke. A few months can be a fluke, but a season is not a fluke. So Hansi have to do something and we have to start performing well. However you do it, I don't know. But let's end with like a positive note. Today, Camp Nou opened for a training session. Finally, saw fans back at the Camp Nou. Saw the Barca anthem playing in the Camp Nou again with the fans chanting, and I saw Lamine Jamal, Frankie De Jong, and other players like interacting with the fans. It was such a nice to see. I can't wait for us to be back at our stadium. I think that's a sanctuary that really will help us boost us. And
I am already looking forward to being in Spain at some point next year. I mean,
yeah, we
cannot
can
wait,
tie up there.
honestly.
I'm
Oh
also
yeah, yeah,
waiting
for
for that.
sure.
I'm waiting for just the Camp Nou to travel. I was going to travel to Barcelona this month. Actually, I said, okay, let's wait for the Camp Nou to open, and then we can go. Because I've already been to the Montjuic before, and we lost that game, of course. So I don't want to think about it, but it was a good
I went to
experience
the
overall.
Camp Nou and we lost. So yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't go in a La Liga or a Champions League game. Maybe a Copa
Or
del
we
Rey
should
game.
go. We should go together. So we might actually win.
Yeah, two negatives make a positive. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah. Okay, we just have a few minutes, but let's talk about. Did you hear that Ronaldo's interview with Piers Morgan? I just want
Oh
to
my
end on
God.
that. Oh wow, uh, there is narcissist, and then there is Cristiano Ronaldo. My God, a professional footballer at that level, and Piers Morgan. I don't want to talk about that guy. That guy is an absolute tin pot. He's asking him about if you and Beckham were in like speedos and who would look much better, and then Cristiano Ronaldo actually obliges and answers him that of course he has just a
He's
nice
touching
face.
Ronaldo's abs. He's touching Ronaldo's abs on an interview. I don't know. I
What
mean,
is going on? It was it was actually at first I was thinking that it's actually like a comedy skit that these two are doing,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but then I realized it's not a comedy skit. These are two narcissists in their field. When two narcissists meet, this is what happens. I mean, it's
Ah,
absolutely. And then Cristiano Ronaldo, this guy like tracked backs on his words like so many times. He's like, World Cup, of course, that's not a dream of mine. 6, 7 games are going to define my career. I saw these clips just a few years back. World Cup, it's a dream of mine. So now it's not a dream in 3, 4 years. Golden Boot is the
he's
best thing
he's
because it's.
speaking like a fanboy of his. I mean, his own fanboys. To be honest, like I mean, it's
I think,
why do people give him airtime anymore? I don't even know.
look, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a brilliant player. He's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. No one is doubting, even at 40 years of age, even if he's the Saudi Pro League, he's still scoring goals there. He's certainly going to get the 1,000 goals in his career. The first player to actually officially do it. Uh, but I think the one curse that Cristiano Ronaldo has in his life is Lionel Messi. I think I think everything that Ronaldo desired in the later stages of his career, more than I want 7 Ballon d'Ors, Messi has 8. Golden Boots are much better because there is no opinion involved. Messi has more. How many does
There's
Messi
more.
have? 6 or 7.
6, 7, yeah,
Yeah. And then the World
a
Cup to
lot more.
top it off. Now the World Cup to top it off. And then he say Argentina had the World Cups even before Lionel Messi. It's that did the history come and score the 2 goals in the World Cup final? Were they
It
there?
doesn't even make sense. It does not make sense.
And Portugal right now has one of the generational squads, and I think there is no excuse for Cristiano Ronaldo to go ahead and win the World Cup this time around. He has probably one of the best squads I've ever seen, to be honest. Every position is stacked. But that's for a separate discussion. But Cristiano Ronaldo always amusing us with his statements. I think if you're a Cristiano Ronaldo fanboy, it's getting harder and harder to defend him. But if you are a Cristiano Ronaldo fanboy, you are delusional to begin with. So of course, what we can we say? Um, but yeah, I think that's it from us in this episode of the Barcelona podcast. Guys, please do like share your comments with us. I think in the future we might have like a live session as well where we might be answering your questions or having like a live discussion with other members of the admins as well. We can do something in the future as well. Maybe have it host on the YouTube. But thank you for supporting, and hopefully things get better for us. Iska Barça.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.